Hello students, welcome to class 10 geography lecture. So in this lecture, in this session, we are going to move on to a new chapter, that is the fifth chapter, minerals and energy resources. So in this chapter, we are going to learn a lot about minerals and lot more about the energy resources. Okay, so now minerals are something basic that we all know, and we all know that the earth's crust, we have studied, that the earth's crust is made up of different minerals that is embedded in the rocks. Now, various metals are extracted from these minerals after proper refinement. Also, these minerals are indispensable part of our lives. Okay, so we cannot stay without minerals. Everything we have, most of the things we have, there is a smaller content maybe of minerals. Okay, so like almost everything we use, from a tiny pin to something big, to maybe a towering building or a big ship, all is made up of minerals. Okay, so if you see in your textbook page number 48, you will find out what I am talking about. Okay, so now the railway lines, even the railway lines, the roads, the implements, the machineries, all include minerals. They all are made from minerals. Okay, now cars, buses, trains, aeroplanes, these are all manufactured from minerals and are run on power resources derived from the earth, on the power resources that we get from the earth. Even the food that we eat contains minerals. In all stages of our life development, human beings have used minerals for their livelihood. So we all have used minerals for our livelihood on daily basis. The decorations, the festivals, the religion ceremonies, everything in our life has a role where there is minerals included. Okay, so now all living things, you, me, we all need minerals. Okay, now life processes, our life cannot occur without minerals. Now what is a mineral? Now geologists define mineral as a homogeneous, naturally occurring substance with a definable internal structure. Now minerals are found in varied forms in nature, ranging from the hardest diamond to the softest talc. Okay, so now you will find mineral everywhere, even from the hardest material to the softest, it has mineral in it. Okay, so our life is incomplete, cannot revolve if there is no minerals. Now also rocks are a combination of homogeneous substances called minerals. Again, rocks also have minerals in them. So if you see on page number 49, you have this small paragraph saying the study of minerals by geographers and geologists. So now geographers study minerals as a part of Earth's crust for a better understanding of landforms. Okay, so we study, the geographers, the geologists, they study about minerals for a better understanding of the landforms. Now the distribution of mineral resources and associated economic activities are of interest of geographers. Okay, so the distribution, whatever the economic activities are associated with, they are all the interests of the geographers. A geologist, however, is interested in the formation of mineral. Now what is the work of a geologist? A geologist is more interested in how those minerals are formed, higher age, the physical and chemical composition. Okay, so now however general or commercial purpose may be, minerals have different modes. Okay, so now we will see the modes of occurrence of minerals. Okay, so if you pay attention here, I have written the 5 different modes of occurrence of minerals. Okay, now before that, let us see where these minerals are found. These minerals are found usually in ores. Now ores, it is termed as ore, is used to describe the accumulation of minerals mixed with other elements. Okay, so what is ore? Ore is a accumulation. It is a combination of different other minerals mixed together. Now the mineral content of the ore must be sufficient concentration to make its extraction commercially viable. It has to be sufficiently concentration so that it can have a good value commercially. Okay, also it determines the cost of extraction. Also this can help to determine the cost of extraction, the cost that we need to sell in the market, the cost that is used to pull that mineral out. Now, therefore, it is very important for us to understand the different modes and the different types of formations where these minerals can be formed, okay, where these minerals can occur, basically. Okay, so the first here we will see is that in igneous and metamorphic rocks, minerals may occur in the cracks, services, faults or the joints. So in igneous or metamorphic rocks, the minerals can be found, it can occur in their cracks, services, faults and joints. The smaller ones are called veins and the larger ones are called lodes. The second place where it can occur, the next is the next mode of occurrence in sedimentary rocks. A number of minerals occurs in the beds or the layers. So in sedimentary rock, there is a lot of minerals in different layers. They have been formed as a result of deposition, accumulation and concentration in horizontal area. So they have been formed there in result of deposition, accumulation and concentration of horizontal area. The next where we can find another mode of formation involves the deposition of surface rocks and the removal of soluble constituents, leaving a residual mass on feathered material containing ore. Bauxite is formed this way. Okay, so another place where we can find this is on the surface rocks. Okay, next, moving on to the next page, is that certain minerals may even occur as alluvial deposits in sands of valley floors and base hills. Now these deposits are called placer deposits. Okay, so these are called placer deposits and generally they contain minerals. Now gold, silver, tin and even platinum are most important among such minerals. Okay, here where the alluvial deposits are there. Next and the last place is the ocean water contains vast quantity of minerals. Okay, so in ocean also, the ocean water also has many minerals, but most of these are too widely diffused to be economic significance. Okay, there are a lot of minerals in the ocean water, but very few can be used economically. Okay, however, common salt, magnesium and bromine are largely derived from these water oceans. The ocean beds too, they are rich in manganese nodules. Okay, so ocean also, they are also rich in other things apart from minerals. Now India is fortunate enough to have fairly rich and varied mineral resources. So we are very fortunate that we have different kinds, different rich and varied varieties of mineral resources available to us. Now something that we always have to remember is that the concentration of mineral in the ore, the ease of extraction and the closeness to market play an important role. The mineral ore, the ease of extraction and the closeness of market play a very important role in affecting the economic viability of a reserve. Okay, so all this the closeness, the ease of concentration, the mineral ore, they all play very important role when it comes to talking about the economy in general. Okay, so this is what was all about in this part. Now you can just take notes of this part and then we will move on to the next topic. Okay, so now we will move on to the next topic, and let me tell you that almost 50% of your chapter is just on this topic. Okay, so this topic is like going to cover everything this chapter has. Okay, so now today in this part we are going to learn about the classification of minerals. Now you will see the same table in your textbook. Okay, so now if you have your textbook, well and good, keep it in front of you. If you don't have, you can just draw this chart later on, and it will help you for your revision. Okay, so now minerals is divided into three different parts. Okay, so first one is metallic, non-metallic and energy minerals. Okay, so now we have the metallic minerals in three different categories. Again, the subdivision of this. Okay, so we have ferrous, non-ferrous and precious. Okay, so the precious one is all the gold, silver, the platinum that is very precious to us. Okay, and then what is ferrous? It is the one which contains iron in it. Okay, like the iron ore, manganese, nickel, cobalt, etc. And the third one, the center one, is non-ferrous. That means it does not have iron in it. It doesn't contain iron. Okay, and the example for this is copper, lead, tin, bauxite, etc., which we will see this in detail now. Then the next one is non-metallic, and the examples of non-metallic, as you can see, is mica, salt, potash, sulfur, granite, limestone, marble, sandstone, etc. And the last one, the energy minerals, examples are coal, petroleum, natural gas. This itself has a very different topic, very different parts, so we will also learn this later on in detail. For now, you just have to understand that the classification of minerals is in three parts, that is metallic, non-metallic and energy minerals. Metallic itself has three parts, that is ferrous, non-ferrous and precious, and non-metallic doesn't have subdivisions, but the examples you must remember. Okay, so without wasting much time, let us just hop into each topic individually and understand it with some examples that is given in your textbooks itself. Okay, so the first one we are going to do is ferrous minerals. That is, these are the minerals that contain iron in it, and these account to about 3/4 of total value of production of metallic minerals. Okay, almost 3/4. So the value of this is, the value of ferrous is total of, among the total of the metallic, it is almost 3/4 part is for ferrous minerals. Okay, now these minerals, they provide a very strong base for the development of metallurgical industries. Okay, for the metal industries, they provide a very strong base. Obviously it will, because almost 3/4 is covered by ferrous minerals. Okay, now India exports substantial. We also export this minerals. The quantities of the ferrous minerals are meeting the internal demands of the people. Okay, now we will understand a bit more about iron ore. Okay, so now iron ore is the basic mineral and the backbone of the industrial development. Okay, now iron ore, you have to understand that iron ore is the very basic and it is the backbone of the industrial development. Okay, then India is endowed with fairly abundant resources. We are blessed, we can say, with iron ore. Okay, with the resource that is iron ore, and India is rich in good quality of iron ore. So magnetite is the most finest iron ore that we ever have. Okay, and it is the highest content, and it is up to the 70% of the total iron ore. Okay, and Hematite is another iron ore which is also most important in the iron industry, in the iron industry, and but it has very low iron content than magnetite. Okay, so there's this magnetite and hematite. Magnetite is has more higher content, but hematite has a little lower content. Okay, the next, let us talk a bit more about the major iron belts in India. Okay, so if you see on page number 51, you will find out what I am talking about. Okay, so the major iron belts in India are, the first one is in Odisha Jharkhand belt. It is very high in and grade. It's in hematite ore. Okay, it is found in this place. Okay, so Odisha Jharkhand belt for iron ore is very good at hematite iron ore. Okay, the next one is Durg Bastar Chandrapur belt. Okay, which lies in Chhattisgarh and Maharashtra, which is again very high, which has again high and grand hematites. Okay, next, the third one is Ballari Chitradurga, Chikamagaluru and Tumakuru belt, which is in Karnataka. Okay, and this has very large reserves of iron ore. Next and the last one, other iron ore belts we have is in Maharashtra Goa Belt, which includes places which it covers states of Goa and Ratnagiri districts of Maharashtra. Okay, it also covers Ratnagiri districts of Maharashtra. Mainly it is in Goa, but it also covers some parts of Ratnagiri in Maharashtra. Okay, so now we will move on to the next example of ferrous minerals, that is manganese. Okay, we have the same one on the same page, on page 51. So now manganese, which is mainly used in manufacturing of steel and ferromanganese alloy. Okay, so manganese is most of the time is used for manufacturing steel, and now listen to this very carefully, nearly 10 kg of manganese is required to manufacture 1 ton of steel. Okay, so like almost 10 kg of manganese is required. We need 10 kgs of manganese to make almost 1 ton of steel. Also, manganese is used in manufacturing bleaching powder, insecticides, and even paints. Okay, so this was about the ferrous minerals. We spoke about iron ore and manganese. Next, we will hop on to the next one, that is non-ferrous minerals. Now, these non-ferrous minerals, India's reserves and productions of non-ferrous minerals is not very satisfactory. Okay, so we do not fit well in this part. Okay, now however, these minerals, they include copper, lead, tin, bauxite. Okay, zinc and gold play a very vital role in a number of metallurgical, engineering and electrical industry. Okay, so now let us learn a bit more about copper and bauxite. Now listen to this, that in this chapter, you don't have, the examples. Okay, we are not talking about each example individually. We will only learn about what is basic and what is more important to understand. Okay, what is really going to help you in your future ways also. So we are only going to learn what is basic. So let us learn about copper now. In non-ferrous minerals, we will learn about copper. So India is critically deficient in the reserve and production of copper. So as we said that non-ferrous minerals, the reserves and production of this is not so satisfactory in India. So that is obvious that the reserves and production of copper will also be very bad. Okay, it is very critically deficient. Okay, being malleable, ductile and a good conductor, copper is mainly used in electrical cable. Now, since copper is malleable, It is ductile and it is a good conductor. It is mainly used in electrical cables, electronics and chemical industries. Okay. Now the Balaghat mines in Madhya Pradesh, then in Rajasthan, Jharkhand, these are all these places, they have leading production of, these places are leading producers of copper. Okay. I repeat, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan and Jharkhand. These three places have copper producing mines, industries that are very good producers of copper. Next we will learn about is bauxite. Okay, so now bauxite, those several ores contain aluminium. It is from bauxite, a clay-like substance, that alumina and later aluminium is obtained. Okay, so from bauxite, alumina and later aluminium is obtained. Now, bauxite deposits, these are formed by decomposition of a wide variety of rocks which is rich in aluminium silicates. Okay, so bauxite is formed with deposition of rich alluvial silicates. Okay, now aluminium is an important metal. Okay, why? Because it combines the strength of different metals. Okay, now different metals like iron, which is extremely lightness. Okay, so all these, and these have a very great malleability. Talking about India, so India's bauxite deposits are mainly found in places Amarkantak Plateau, Michael Hills and plateau regions of Bilaspur and Katni. Okay, so these places have good bauxite productions. Okay, next we will, I hope you understood how this ferrous and non-ferrous works. Okay, next we will move on talking about non-metallic minerals. Okay, so now we will understand more about non-metallic minerals. Now in non-metallic minerals we will learn in specific and in fact, learn as in we will get a bit detail about the mica. Now, what is mica? This is a mineral that is made up of series of plates and leaves, and it is so thin that thousands of layers can be formed to make it a bit high. Now, there are different colors. It can be clear, it can be black, it can be red or yellow, it can be green, or it can even be brown. Now, where mica deposits are found in, it is found in northern edge of Chota Nagpur Plateau, Kodarma Gaya, Hazaribagh belt of Jharkhand, and these are the leading producers of mica. Okay, now we will study about the rock mineral that is limestone. Now limestone, this is found in association with rocks which are composed of calcium carbonates. Okay, so now you will feel that we are studying geography and there are so many of these, scientific words, chemicals and all. Well, it is a part of it. Okay, so limestones, these are in association with rocks that are composed of calcium or calcium carbonates or calcium and manganese carbonates. Okay, and it is found in sedimentary rocks in most of the geographical areas. Okay, then limestone, it is the basic raw material for cement industry. Okay, so limestone, it is the basic raw material that people of cement industries who are in all those industries, they need limestone as it is their basic requirement, and it is very essential for smelting iron ore in the blast furnace. Okay, so it is very important for iron ore work also. After this, we will move on to the next topic. Now, let me tell you, from this table, what we have done, we have learned is metallic, non-metallic, and in metallic, we learned about ferrous, non-ferrous, and precious. Okay. Talking about the energy minerals, we have a part of this later on, okay, but before this, we will learn about conservation of minerals. Okay, so now you have 2 minutes, you can just note this down and I will erase this, and then we will jump on to the next topic, that is conservation of minerals, and later on in the lesson, we will also cover energy minerals. Okay, moving on to the next topic, that is conservation of minerals. Now, what is conservation? Conservation is the care and protection we take of a particular resource, like if we are conserving energy resource, so protection and care of energy resource. Now, in this case, it is protection and care of minerals for our future generations, so that we take care of it, so we conserve it, so we protect it, so that our future generations can benefit from it. Okay, so now minerals, we are so much dependent, the industry and agriculture are totally dependent on minerals. Okay, we have our dependence, the industry and agriculture has dependence on minerals. Now we are continuously consuming mineral resources that requires millions and millions of years to form, and the formation of minerals are very, very slow. Now because of that, since we are using it on daily basis, we require it, we continuously use it, the extraction of ore leads to increasing costs. It leads to increasing costs, which decreases their quality. Okay, so the quality of it decreases. See, I've written here that continued extraction of ore leads to increasing costs as mineral extraction comes from greater depths along with decrease in quality. So we have to work hard, we have to put in a lot of extraction process, which costs a lot, but the quality of the mineral decreases. Now a concerted effort has to be made. Now since we are using it on daily basis, okay, daily basis as in we are continuously using it, the agricultural industry is dependent on minerals. That is why what we have to do, we have to make use of our mineral resources in a planned and sustainable manner. Okay, since we have a continuous use of it, we have to use it in a planned and sustainable manner. How we can do that? What measures are being taken is that the technologies have been improved, low cost to be charged, recycling of metals can be done, using scrap metals, and other steps has been taken. Okay, so the technologies, we have improved with technologies, we have put in low cost, we have started using recycling metals. Okay, then we started using scrap metals, and other steps have been taken in conserving our mineral resources. So all these steps have been taken to conserve the mineral resources for the future generation. Even though we use it now, even though we started now, but it is very important for us to help our future generations and not be selfish. Okay, because this is something that started off from the past. They did something, so we can use it now. So we do something, so our future can use it later on. Okay, so this is what is conservation of minerals. How this happens is because, why do we feel the importance of conserving minerals is because we use, the whole dependency of agriculture and industries is on minerals. Minerals are like very slow to grow. It takes time to grow. The formation of it takes time. It is a very slow process. It takes millions and millions of years to form. Then as we are using it on daily basis, continued extraction, the costs become high, and that is why we feel the need to take certain measures so we can conserve the mineral resources. Okay, so now you can just note these points down, and then we will move on to the next topic in this chapter. Okay, so let us move on to the next topic, that is energy resources. Now, energy resources can be conventional sources of energy and non-conventional sources of energy. So, we are going to learn each of this individually and get an idea about what these are and how it helps, and how later on we will see how we can conserve these energy resources. Okay, so first let us know a bit what is energy resources. Now everything we do, now I'm talking to you, I am using energy. Okay, everything, now my book is moving, it is energy. We require energy in every tiny little thing we do. In all the activities we do, there is energy involved. It is needed to cook, to provide light, to provide heat, to, for the vehicles, for the machineries to work, everything. For every work we do, we require energy. Now, energy can be generated from fuel minerals like coal, petroleum, natural gas, uranium, and from electricity. Now, energy resources can be classified in two parts: conventional and non-conventional. What comes in conventional? Conventional is the one which is non-renewable by any natural process. What comes under conventional is coal, petroleum, natural gas and electricity. What comes under non-conventional is nuclear or atomic energy, then solar energy, wind power, biogas, tidal energy, geothermal energy. Okay, so we will learn about each of this, but first we will learn about the conventional sources, then we will learn about the non-conventional one. Okay, so the conventional sources, talking about the conventional sources, first one is coal. Now in India, coal is most abundantly available fossil fuel. It provides a substantial part of nation's energy needs. Okay, so coal plays a very big role in providing energy to us. Okay, it is used for power generations, then to supply energy to industries and also for domestic needs. Now India is highly dependent on coal for meeting its commercial requirements. Okay, whatever commercially we require, we are totally dependent on coal. Okay, now as we all know that coal is formed due to compression of plant materials, so it takes over millions of years for its formation. Therefore, we have different varieties of coal. So first is lignite, Betainius, Anthracite. Okay, so what is lignite? It is a low grade brown coal with a soft with high moisture content. So lignite has high moisture content. Next one, the coal that has been buried deep and is subjected to increased temperature is Betainius coal. Okay, it is the most popular coal in commercial use. Okay, so this is very, very popular while we think about commercially, and when it comes commercially, it is also helping us, it is also helping the economy of India. Then the next one is anthracite, and this is highest quality of hard coal. Okay, now moving on to talking about coal still. Okay, so we have to remember that coal is a bulky material which loses its weight as it is reduced to ash. So when coal is reduced to ash, it loses its weight. Hence, heavy industries and thermal power stations are located near coal fields. Okay, so industries and thermal power stations are located near coal fields. Okay, next one is petroleum. Now we all know petroleum, this has been the highest rated topics in the past few months. Okay, so petroleum or mineral oil is the major energy source in India after coal. So this is number 2 important major source in India. Okay, it provides fuel for heat and lighting, lubricants for machinery and raw materials for a number of manufacturing industries. Now, petroleum refineries also act as nodal industries for synthetic textile fertilizers, numerous chemical industries. Okay, so these also are very important, and they also act as lubricants for different synthetic. It also is very helpful for the nodal industries like the synthetic, the fertilizers and numerous other chemicals. Okay, so now Mumbai High Court, Gujarat and Assam are major petroleum production areas in India. Gujarat, Mumbai High and Assam. Okay, so these are major production places of petroleum in areas in India. Next one is the natural gas. Now, natural gas is another important clean energy resource which is found in association with or without petroleum. Okay, so this natural gas can be in association with petroleum or it cannot be in association with petroleum. Okay, it is anyways used as a source of energy as well as industrial raw material in the petrochemical industry. So it is used as a source of energy, and it is also used as industrial raw material. Now natural gas, okay, natural gas is considered an environment friendly fuel. Okay, obviously, because the name only says it that it is natural. When it is natural, it will be environment friendly. Because why is it environment friendly? Because of low carbon dioxide emissions, and is therefore the fuel of present century. Now, large reserves of natural gas has been discovered in Krishna Godavari basin. Okay, so a large resource, a large areas, reserves is discovered in Krishna Godavari basin. Okay, now you don't just have to remember these what I have laid down. This is just an easy understanding. Now when a question is asked to you regarding explain in detail about conventional energy source natural gas, so there you have to give out more points about what natural gas is, about how it works, which places it is found. These are the basic 3 points that has to be included. And also in your textbook, if they have given an extra point regarding any case study or anything, you can include that also in your answers, which will be a bit more beneficial to your answers and get you good scores. Okay, also not only talking about scores, it will increase your knowledge. Okay, so next moving on to the last conventional source of energy, that is electricity. Now electricity has a very wide range of application in today's world. Its per capita consumption is considered as the index of development. Electricity is very important for us. In a way, these are all, just lined up in the proper manner so that we understand the importance of each one. Now, electricity is mainly generated in two ways. First one is by running water, which drives hydro turbines to generate hydroelectricity, and second one is by burning other fuels as coal, petroleum and natural gas to drive turbines to produce thermal power. One generated, the electricity is exactly the same. So what is done is that with running water we get hydroelectricity, and by burning other fuels, that is other sources, that is coal, petroleum, natural gas, we get thermal power. Now hydroelectricity is generated very fast by flowing water, which is a renewable resource. Okay, so with flowing water, hydroelectricity can be produced very fast. Thermal electricity is generated by using coal, petroleum and natural gas. Now the thermal power stations use non-renewable fossil fuels for generating electricity. Okay, so the thermal power uses how thermal power is generated by burning coal, petroleum and natural gas. Okay, moving on to the next part, that is non-conventional sources of energy. We will do each of it individually just as we did this one. Okay, so now let's hop on to this. Now non-conventional sources of energy, the growing consumption of energy has resulted in country becoming increasingly dependent. Now we are becoming very dependent on fossil fuels such as coal, oil and gas. Okay, because of this, the prices of this oil, the gas is rising, which causes potential shortages and have raised uncertainties about the security. Moreover, because of all these issues, the increasing use of fossil fuels is also causing serious environmental problem, and hence there is a pressing need to use the renewable energy sources like solar energy, wind energy, biomass and other energy waste materials. Now these are all called as non-conventional energy sources. Now India is blessed with abundance of sunlight, water, wind and biomass. Okay, so with the help of all these, it is largest programs of development of renewable resources. Okay, so with sunlight, water, biomass, wind, we can help and generate more and more of non-conventional sources of energy. Now, talking about each of it individually, first we will talk about nuclear or atomic energy. Okay, so now nuclear atomic energy, this is obtained by altering the structure of atoms. Okay, now since it is atomic and nuclear, you can go with words at times. The words itself can sometimes give you out the definition, the meaning of it. Okay, so now atomic or nuclear energy, how is it obtained? It is obtained by altering structures of atom. When such an alteration is made, much energy is released and it is in the form of heat, and this is used to generate electric power. So places where these are available is Jharkhand, Aravalli ranges of Rajasthan, okay, Kerala. You can also find all these over there. Nuclear atomic energy. Next one is solar energy. Now now since India is a tropical country, it has enormous possibilities of tapping solar energy. Solar energy is very fast becoming popular in rural as well as remote areas. Now, some big solar power plants are being established in different parts of India, which will minimize the dependence of rural household on firewoods and dung cakes. Okay, so now since we are developing a lot of solar energy, so what will happen is that the dependence on firewood and everything will become less. It will decrease. Okay, so now this is how the supply of manure in agriculture will help us. Okay, so that is how solar energy can be generated. Next one is wind power. Now it is India's most potential of wind power. Now India has very great potential of wind power. The largest wind farm cluster. Okay, so now where wind farm cluster is located, the largest one is located in Tamil Nadu. Okay, now apart from these, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Gujarat, Kerala, Maharashtra, Lakshadweep also have important wind farms. Okay, so next fourth one is biogas. Now how biogas is generated? Now shrubs, farm wastes, animal and human waste are used to produce biogas for domestic consumption in rural areas. Okay, so what is used? The waste, the shrub, the farm waste of humans and animals, all these is used to produce biogas, which is used for domestic consumption. Now decomposition of organic matter yields gas which has higher thermal efficiency in comparison to kerosene, dung cake and charcoal. Now biogas plants are also set up by the municipal, cooperative and individual levels. Okay, so people also set up biogas plants. Okay, these plants, the plant that use these cattle dung is known as gobar gas plants. Okay, and these have twin benefits. Okay, first it helps to form energy, and it has improved quality of manure, and biogas is by far the most efficient use of cattle dung. So the bestest way of how we can use the cattle dung is with producing biogas energy. Now the next one is tidal energy. Now these are energy with oceanic tides. With the use of oceanic tides, these energy can be generated during high tide. Water flows into inlets and it gets trapped. Now when the gate is closed, after the tides falls outside the floodgate, the water retained by the floodgate flows back the sea via a pipe through which power generating turbines. Okay, so with the help of that it is generated. Now in India, the Gulf of Kambhat, the Gulf of Kutch in Gujarat, on the western coastal and the gigantic delta in Sundarban regions of West Bengal provide ideal conditions for utilizing tidal energy. So these are the places where utilization of tidal energy is done pretty well. Moving on to the next one and the last one in this entire topic is geothermal energy. Now this energy refers to the heat and electricity that is produced by using the heat from the interior of the earth. Okay, so the geothermal energy is brought to us or is used by the heat that is produced in the internal of the earth. Now geothermal energy, this exists because of the earth that grows progressively hotter by increasing depth. Now where geothermal gradient is high temperatures are found in shallow depths. Also ground waters of such areas are observed. Now it is too hot when it rises to the earth's surface, it turns into a steam. Okay, so there are two experimental projects that have been set up to harness this geothermal energy. Okay, so two different projects have been set up. So talking about one which is located in Parvati Valley near Manikand in Himachal Pradesh, and the other is located in Ladakh. Okay, so this is all about geothermal energy. So what you need to basically understand in this whole concept is that what is nuclear energy, how this is formed with the use of atoms, how solar energy formed with the use of heat, wind energy, biogas, tidal energy. Biogas is wind energy is formed because we have lots of wind power, so we can use wind. The windmills are set up, so from there we can use the wind. We are generated with wind power. Then with the use of cattle dung, biogas energy can be used. Then tidal energy with the oceanic tides, and geothermal energy with the heat in the earth's interior. Okay, so this is what you need to understand in this whole concept. Again, you have to understand the meanings of this and also the places where it is situated or where it is formed, most of where it is produced. Okay, so this was all about energy as a resource. Energy resources, let me give you another short recap. Energy resources is divided in conventional and non-conventional. In conventional sources of energy, we have coal, petroleum, natural gas, electricity, and in non-conventional, we have these energies. These are renewable, and we have these energies. The types of energy here is nuclear or atomic energy, solar energy, wind power, biogas, tidal energy, and geothermal energy. Now you can just take a few minutes to note this down, and then we will move on to the next and the last topic, learning about conservation of energy resources and how energy can be conserved. So now we will move on to the next and the final topic in this chapter, that is conservation of energy resources. Now, how can we save energy? Since we know that energy is the basic requirement for economic development, energy sectors of national economy like agriculture, industries, transport, domestic, commercial, all these needs inputs of energy. All of these things need energy. Okay, so because of that, since we have a lot of use of energy and we do not have a medium to protect them, that is why we are facing many problems. Now, economic development plans implemented since independence required increasing amounts of energy to remain operated. Consumption of energy in the forms has been steadily rising. Now, India is presently one of the least energy efficient countries in the world. Okay, so we are one of the least energy efficient country. That means we need to put in a lot of practices to save energy. We have to adopt cautious approach where we can protect the use, where we can have the proper use of the limited resource that is energy to us. So we have to put the use of energy resources properly and well planned. Okay, we have to save the energy resources. So what we can do, you and me, as basics, as citizens of our country, what we can do is we can do a few things that could help save energy. That is, we could use the public transport, for transport, for traveling around, using power saving devices where we can save power. Then what else we can do is we can switch off electricity when we are not using it. When we are in the living room, we can just switch off the fans and everything in our bedroom. So this is some basic things and many more things that you can do to save energy resource. Now energy, this is the line that is given in your textbook, So energy saved is the energy produced. Now if you save energy, that can help to produce other energies that we learned previously, okay? So yeah, that is it in this lesson, in this part. With this, we come to an end of the 5th chapter, that is Minerals and Energy Resources. I hope you have learned a lot about different minerals and also about the energy resources and how you can, produce these resources, how you can maintain these resources, what you can do to save these resources, and we've learned a lot. Okay, so that is all. Make sure you read the chapter. Also refer to the notes that I have shared over here. Again, disclaimer, these notes are not your answers. These are just basic understanding for you, just key sentences, key statements that could help you recollect the topic. So you can refer to these but not write these as your only answer. Of course, you can put these in between your answers, frame it well, and you can, just put these in your answers. That will help you a lot. But the answers are still lengthy and long, so you have to do it. Make sure you read the textbooks, make sure you refer to the notes, and you will be all set. If anybody asks you any question, you will be the first one to answer them. So yeah, that's it in this session, and with this we come to an end of this chapter.